Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video that I really do not understand it, but we all can always put our, talk about it and make one another understand. So there is a video of Joe Biden trading hats with a Trump supporter. And not just after trading, he traded the hat and then wore, wear it on. And he knew that it's Trump 2024 hat, right? I understand when it comes to politics, there is no permanent friend or there is no permanent enemy, right? Your best friend might come out tomorrow to say that we are no longer best friends. That is politics. I understand that. But when somebody started, because I feel just treading the hat and at the same time wearing the hat means that this is somebody that I am supporting. I really do not understand it, but that is what it looks. Because when it comes to opposition, everybody's usually very being smart in order not to create tension or do some certain things. But for him to trade that hat and at the same time wear the hat, I do not understand. But then I really because I have people that are that read political science and the rest of it. If you read political science, why not? Let me know what you think about it. And for those I saw a lot of people in the comment section saying that it looks like I did not watch the debate. Like, are you people serious? Telling me that Donald Trump ate and all that. If you said Donald Trump ate, that is absolutely beautiful. Let's get into this video.
Now, before I get into this video, let me remind you all of something. This is not the airport. You do not have to announce your departure. Now that we have that out the way, this is not AI generated, and this is why old white men cannot be trusted. That is President Joe Biden. And as I said, this is not an AI generated or altered photograph. Joseph Biden put that Trump 2024 hat on his head voluntarily.
There you go, man. I need that hat.
Want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah. Do a selfie. There you go.
Let this sink in, that this is the day after the debate. Less than 24 hours in Pennsylvania, nonetheless, after Donald Trump said the following in the debate.
A little secret, he hates her. He can't stand her.
And what is the White House saying about this optical disaster of an image that MAGA supporters are running across social media with to validate Donald Trump's words about Joe Biden hating Kamala Harris? They are saying that President Joe Biden briefly sported former President Donald Trump's red MAGA hat in a show of bipartisan unity. Bipartisan unity with the man you have literally called numerous times a threat to democracy in this country. Bipartisan unity with a man who used his considerable influence with Republicans in Congress to kill any immigration bill because he wanted to run on immigration? Did they say bipartisan unity with a man who took to his social media account on Truth Social and said in the face of a looming government shutdown by the end of this month, if Republicans in the House and Senate don't get absolute assurances on election security, they should in no way, shape, or form go forward with a continuing resolution on the budget? The Democrats are trying to stuff voter registrations with illegal aliens. Don't let it happen. And it ends it with close it down. Let's say I could go with this idea of trading hats in a show of bipartisan unity. Did you trade this Trump 2024 hat with a Trump supporter in a room full of Trump supporters for a Harris 2024 hat? Oh no. Oh no. Joseph Biden traded a Trump 2024 hat with this Trump supporter for a hat with nothing more than the seal of the office of President of the United States. This is one of the main reasons I say old white men can't be trusted and Democrats are weak. Somebody show me the picture from when Joseph Biden was running for president that he put a Trump 2020 hat on. I'll wait.
So the debate last night between Vice President Harris and Donald Trump really revealed how misogyny and white supremacy intersect and work together in tandem to oppress and marginalize women in particular. I was watching the Today Show this morning and listening to their recap of the debate, and they were talking about, well, we want to hear more policy from Vice President Harris. We want to see her distinguish herself from the Biden administration, and we didn't really get a chance to do that because she spent most of the debate baiting Donald Trump, and granted, he fell for the baiting, but that's all she spent the debate doing. And I just want to ask, were we watching the same fucking debate or not? All Vice President Harris did was talk about policy. Every time Donald Trump tried to respond to her with some ignorant misinformation that was based on hate or based on some kind of ism or misogyny, she responded in tandem with policy. He was asked several times by the moderators, what is your policy for XYZ? What is your plan for XYZ? And he didn't have one. He said he had the concept of a plan. Are you fucking kidding me? And watching the mainstream news media sitting here saying they want to hear more policy from Kamala Harris, and then in the same breath, they're not saying they didn't hear any policy from Donald Trump. Again, were we watching the same debate? People say it all the time that there are two Americas, and I think that's true for black people and white people. I also think that's true for men and women. The fact that Kamala Harris even has to deem herself low enough to share breathing space with someone like Donald Trump, who, by the way, has been running for president for damn near 10 years and still doesn't have policy and plan in place. The fact that she even has to prove herself as a worthy opponent to someone like him tells you everything you need to know, again, about misogyny and white supremacy in America. It's also extraordinarily misogynistic to claim that she didn't talk about policy. Instead, she spent the entire debate baiting Donald Trump and he fell for it. It's implying that she is somehow responsible for the fact that this man at his prehistoric age, who has been running for office for almost a decade, can't string together a sentence and is so easily thrown off track by some simple comments. That's not her fault. That's not her responsibility. Women are not responsible for men's incompetencies. That's implying that it's somehow her fault that he could be so easily baited in the first place. That onus is not on her at all. She proved throughout the entire debate, time and time again, responding to his criticisms, responding to the moderator's questions, and answering and outlining specific policies. She was spewing facts and statistics. These are things that we want in a presidential candidate. Are people mad because the black woman, the mixed race black woman, is the one demonstrating all of these noble traits? Is it that we only think that these traits should be exemplified in white heterosexual men? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. And yes, it absolutely does not help or hurt, I should say, that Kamala Harris is a conventionally attractive woman. That's also killing them too. That how dare she be not white and conventionally attractive and 60 times more qualified than almost anyone who's run for president in the past forever. This is also why I've observed that among younger millennials and Gen Z in particular, they're straying away from watching the mainstream news media and obtaining their sources from the mainstream news media, because you cannot be seriously sitting here saying that you watched that debate that the entire world was watching and that Kamala Harris didn't talk enough about policy and do not have any of the same criticisms for someone like Donald Trump. You cannot seriously sit here and say that women, qualified, accomplished, intelligent women who are capable and high achievers in their own right are responsible for the failures of men, or somehow bear the onus of correcting the failures of men. Well, she shouldn't have baited him. That man has living memory of segregation. By now, after almost a decade of running for the presidency, he should know not to be baited, maybe? Does that occur to anyone? Why are women responsible for men's poor behavior? It's very much giving, what was she wearing? You know what I mean? That's very much what it's giving. And like Kamala said, it's the same old tired rhetoric of lies, misinformation, and division. All he's doing is trying to sow division. And she adequately responded with, no, I am working to bring the country together. Even in his closing statement, he couldn't take the closing statement as an opportunity to correct the entirety of the fuck up of the entire debate. He couldn't even take the closing statement to do that. This closing statement was about everything Kamala said and nothing about what he plans to do. Anyway, some of my favorite highlights were the fact that the truth bomb she dropped when she mentioned Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. The way that Trump responded to that statement, he like physically recoiled, like he jumped back, like he was punched by like fucking Tyson or something. That was my favorite. Also her mentioning that he was fired by 81 million people, because if you're old enough to know his whole reality TV show, The Apprentice, his trademark phrase was, "You're fired." So for her to take that and like throw it back in his face and turn it on him, and genius. But again, I expect nothing less from Kamala Harris, because she's an exemplary woman whose track record, whose career, whose accomplishments, whose achievements speak for themselves. White America, and in particular white men and some of you white women, are just mad that all of those exemplary traits and characteristics and accomplishments are in the body of a mixed race woman who is better looking than you, on top of everything, on top of her charisma, on top of her intelligence, on top of her achievements. She's gorgeous. And yes, that absolutely does make a difference. Let's not pretend like psychological impacts like the halo effect and pretty privilege are not real. Granted, Kamala did not set that system up. She's not responsible for enforcing or upholding it. So if she, as a mixed race woman who's otherwise oppressed or marginalized, benefits from it, more power to her. Anyway, the election is coming up. Make sure that you're registered to vote by visiting, your state government's official website, and vote early, vote as soon as you can, and vote blue. Thank you.
This was really one of the more powerful moments that took place at the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
A few things stood out to me. The optics, first of all, her speaking so passionately about the subject that she has full authority to speak on as a woman. Secondly, him glowering to, the moderators, whoever he was looking at the whole night, because he certainly was not looking at her. But the third thing that jumped out at me was that she called them Trump abortion bans. And that's exactly what they are. Every word that she said was true. And this really felt like that prosecutorial moment that we were all expecting from her. She laid out the case very concisely, very clearly. Trump stacked the court. I mentioned in another video recently that they prevented Obama from having a Supreme Court pick when he should have. And then through the Federalist Society, Trump chose 3 staunchly anti-reproductive rights judges. It was a very intentional decision meant to placate the pro-life movement. And he has said time and time again that he's proud of it. And then he repeated the lie in this debate that removing Roe v. Wade was something that supposedly the majority of the country wanted. It was not. And you notice too that he wouldn't say directly that he would veto an abortion ban should it come through his desk. When they asked J.D. Vance about it, first he said he thought Trump would veto a national ban. Then when Trump was asked about it, he said J.D. hadn't talked to him. So then they asked J.D. about it again afterwards, and he said, "Oh, it's such a ridiculous question. That's never going to happen anyway." Now ask me if I believe it. 62% of Americans believe that abortion should be legal in all or most cases. And like she said at the end of this clip, even those who may not agree with the procedure because of their faith can at least recognize that it shouldn't be the decision of a bunch of men in black robes. And it certainly should not be the decision of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. So I thought she did a really good job of arguing the case like a prosecutor here. And this was one of those moments where all he could do was just stand there and accept the charges because she brought the facts. This was masterful.
So this is all I got from this video, and the truth is that I watched the debate because that reminds me, in the comment section I saw people, I mean, it looks like some people watch from a different television, or maybe their television isn't kind of not okay, because it's really amazing how some of them are still out there defending that Trump did a great job, and like Kamala Harris, like, you know, I even saw on Fox News too, where they said that, I mean, like, Donald Trump aid and all that. And I am asking, who exactly aid? Because I did not see anything that aid during the debate that happened, right? But that aside, I love the fact that Kamala Harris was really she was bold enough to talk about her policy, starting from economics to the, like, you know, gun control, a lot of it, like to the down part of it. I love the fact that each question that was asked her, I'm like, each question they asked her, she comes up with a policy to defend whatever she was asked and the rest of it. Now, moving forward, I am kind of like, you know, I don't know, but, you know, I do not want to make excuse for somebody, but I am also trying to, like, be diplomatic about it, right? So people don't be like, oh, this is what you know how to do best, but whatever way. Seeing Joe Biden wearing, I don't know why he was trading a hat. I mean, like, Donald Trump's hat. Did that really make any sense? I don't know, but did that really make any sense? Let me understand, because it's a little bit confusing, because I do not see how, I mean, like, you know, somebody will trade and wear an opposition's hat. I mean, it's kind of a little bit, I don't know, but it's kind of off for me, if you ask me, especially when it comes to politics. It means like somebody is kind of being, like, you know, not having a stand. That is how I feel, and that is how it is, right? But maybe because he is old, but I don't think he acted like an old person. He knew what he was trading. Like, you know, he saw it that it's Trump 2024, and he traded the hat, right? So I don't understand, but yeah, it is what it is. Let me know what you all think about it. And yeah, see you all in my next video. Bye for now.